When you buy a cup of coffee in the morning, you're just waiting for your daily drip and you're looking at the beans. There's a story behind every bean. Where's it come from? Where exactly was it grown? When was it grown? How much of it was actually grown? Big competitors like Starbucks get their beans wholesale, pennies to the dollar. They get sent in big 5-pound bags or 2.5-pound bags for usually the iced coffee and the cold brew. While the competition, smaller coffee shops, local coffee shops, roast their beans on site. There's many local coffee shops that roast their beans either in the back of the store or off-site in a warehouse close to the store that just gets sent to it right away. Although this does affect the taste, you're still getting a cup of coffee. Speaking of that, each grower in each country has different cultural practices for their beans, different soils, different temperatures, which overall results in a different taste of coffee. For example, Guatemala, Central America, their beans are going to be a little bit more on the lemony side. If you tasted just black, you're going to get a hint of lemon, which if you go to Guatemala and you ask for a cup of coffee, they're going to give you a side of lemons to have with that cup of coffee to squeeze in there, because it brings out the lemon taste and they want you to pair it with that lemon. And they want you to fully feel the refreshing lemon in that coffee. I know it sounds weird, but it's great. Places like Kenya and Ethiopia, they put real dark soil into their coffee beans and their coffee plants, so there's more earthy tones, more spice to go with it, more of a kick, which is why Ethiopia and Kenya are a darker coffee, and so is French roast, because French roast, even though it's not made in France, is given one of the good darkest coffees you can get. Local coffee shops roast on site, and the United States is not the best place to roast coffee. In fact, the United States is the worst place to roast coffee because of our changing temperatures and our really bad soil. The United States does not have good soil for coffee plants, so roasting beans on site will result in a very acidic bean and possibly a bitter bean, because acidity does lead to bitterness and will ruin your cup of coffee. But somehow coffee shops make it work.